I'm going to give you a very quick intro to trap bar deadlifting. We love to use it when we start to get people on the ground pulling deadlifts for the first time. It teaches them how to master the movement and has a couple advantages that we don't get with a regular barbell. First of all, there's no bar going through the middle. So we actually line this up to where that bar should pass through our body. That's important for reducing some of the shear forces on the low back. So if you've got low back issues, this might be a better option. Second, it's got a 2 to 3 inch elevated handle that's going to shorten the range of motion and allow us to get into really favorable positions and learn how to get tight when we do our deadlift. So setting up from the ground up, we go with flat-soled shoes or no shoes because we want a flat foot to push through the ground. We're going to go about 6 to 8 inches apart. One of the flaws that I see commonly is people want to set up as wide as they can. We're trying to learn how to do a pure hinge and get into a good deadlift pattern. So we go pretty narrow. There might be a little bit of turnout, but about 6 to 8 inches is where we need to be. For your feet, we want a tripod foot, which means there's 3 points of contact: the heel and then your outer 2 toes. Some people have collapsed arches and not enough weight on that pinky toe, or they supinate their foot and they don't have enough weight on that big toe. So we want to balance that out for a couple reasons. We're going to be pushing through the floor, and we want to make sure that the transfer of strength that we have is optimal and we can demonstrate as much strength as we have. So if we don't have an ideal alignment at the foot, we're going to lose some strength and performance will go down. And the second thing is, it could change the exercise enough to where we load tissues in an inappropriate way that leads to injury over time. So to get a tripod foot, very simply, what we do is just lift our toes up. We think about spreading them because that gives us an arch. And then we press those 2 toes down as hard as we can. So now I can feel my big toe, my little toe, and my heel, and I'm still holding that arch. On the actual execution, we want to use our Romanian deadlift pattern. So we have a nice hinge of the hips moving back. And I'm going to go just till I feel my hamstrings. Okay, no movement through the upper body. From here, I'm going to squat just enough to reach that bar. When we actually go to pull, one of the things we want to do is get tension or create tightness before we pull. So if I just yank on this bar, you'll hear it rattle. When people go to lift, if they're not tight, they'll get that audible bang of the plates as well as a noticeable jerk through the body. It's that catch right there that we want to get rid of. So we RDL, we squat. I'm going to squeeze my armpits like I've got oranges in there, and I'm trying to squeeze them into orange juice. That's going to tighten my lats, which is also going to help protect the low back, and it's going to pull the bar tight against the plates. So when I lift, you'll notice it's quiet. And the second thing I want to do is think about taking a big breath of air and tightening my side abs. So as I talk to you now, I'm trying to still breathe while keeping those abs braced here. We find a lot of people don't get their side ab game tight. They're kind of gooey through here. Well, we want to create stiffness, okay? So, 6 to 8 inches apart, tripod foot, we Romanian deadlift to a squat, we tighten the armpits, we take a breath, you'll notice it's quiet. Here, I like to stretch my hamstrings or do what I call the twerk, okay? You want to feel some tension in those hamstrings before you lift. So I like to find it again, pull back down, that is your trap bar deadlift intro.